All right. Welcome to episode 2
Hi.
of the Jolly Podcast. Yeah,
The first one went well.
we think so.
We think so.
You may not think so, but we think so.
There's a few things that, like, obviously we've got to, iron out the kinks. But I think it was good enough.
I enjoyed it.
Good enough for a first episode. do you know
Yeah,
what I
right?
mean? Yeah.
It's never going to be perfect.
No, we're not perfect, and that's the whole point.
I don't know why
That
I
was
did
horribly cheesy from both of us. I can't lie. Oh dear.
Alrighty. So should we start with our Reddit first that we found?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So figuring out what to do with your free time when you become an adult and you don't have as much homework and everything.
I hated homework.
Same.
But neither of us actually did homework. I didn't do homework. I did it in the class before.
No, I always did my homework.
Did you?
Yeah.
You
And there was
freaked me
only
out
one
about
time I didn't. I got detention for it.
And you cried.
I was so upset.
Yeah.
I was so upset. I only ever had 2 detentions. One of them was for not having my PE kit. And the other one was for not doing my Spanish homework.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
See, I always did my homework, but at the very, very last second. Do you remember me in tutor rooms just doing homework?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, it couldn't be me. I was a goody two shoes. You forget.
Yeah. Oh dear. But yeah, no. Free time, you get loads of it eventually if you're unemployed.
Yeah.
But I suppose it depends on whether you like what you do after school.
Yeah.
If you go straight into a job,
Don't eat that.
how dare you?
Pandora's just eating the mic
You're just
wire.
gagging on the monitor cable. Do you mind? Oi, quit it. Stop.
Anyways.
It depends what you do after school, I think.
Yeah. I didn't do many after school activities.
Well, no, I meant when you finish school. Once you've become an adult, not after school.
I'm well, I didn't do any
I didn't do any extracurricular stuff. I just had too many friends. We just hung out all the time. What did you do after school?
Honestly, this is the thing, right? After COVID, obviously I got into gaming.
Yeah.
But
I mean, after school.
No. But before then,
that. Okay.
Entirely before then.
Yeah.
I do not know what I did in my free time. Maybe I read books. I know I did do a lot of reading, but I don't think I read the whole time.
What did you do?
I don't know. I think I was just on the phone to Belle all the time.
You hang out a lot with her, to be fair.
Yeah.
A lot of your time was just spent chatting with her.
Yeah. We can chat for hours.
You can.
Yeah.
Indefinitely chat.
I know, right? Never
Forever.
run out of subjects. But yeah, I just
didn't do anything.
honestly,
I actually didn't do anything.
it scares me that I don't actually know my
Anyway,
plans
to
were.
the point, figuring out what to do with your free time. Again, it depends.
Yeah.
Right? So after school and after college,
Mhm.
I went to uni.
Yeah.
So my free time was more stuff that you do at uni. It was socializing, it was sport. It was, doing, I guess I did have homework at that point, didn't I?
Yeah.
You didn't have homework. What did you do?
No, but so in my gap year I was working, and I found it really weird that I suddenly didn't have stuff to do at my weekends, and my evenings were free, and I just suddenly had
to figure out what to do.
Had to figure out my life, and so I just saw friends, and again, like I said, I don't know what my hobbies were because this was pre-COVID.
Yeah.
But then I got into an apprenticeship, so then I did a lot of my weekends were taken up by coursework, because obviously then that's learning in between working, but you're working a full-time
We've
job.
done terribly at answering this question.
I know, right? We
That's
literally.
awful.
So actually, the moral of the story is
we don't know
what
We
you do with
actually
your
have
free
no idea.
time. We game.
No, games.
Yeah, we game.
We play games. A lot of games. I have a stupid amount of hours in many games.
I played Valorant. I'm not very good at it.
No.
You know what? I downloaded that game 5 years ago.
And
I'm still...
No, you're definitely better than you were.
Oh yeah, I'm better.
100%.
But I'm nowhere near good.
No.
For a first FPS game, fine, but like after 5 years of practice, surely you should be better than what I'm doing.
You can. I think a good answer to that question is obviously just do what you want to do.
Yeah, find a hobby.
Like, to be fair, a harder question to answer, I think, is how you know what you want to do. How to know what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like actually finding a hobby is difficult because there's so many things to take into consideration, like timing, money, getting to places. Like, I love rock climbing, but did I do it much? No, because the nearest place is like 40 minutes away, and then you've gone 40 minutes, but it costs for a membership, and then there's stuff that you have to do on top of that, like paying for climbing shoes and stuff like that.
Chalk
and
bags.
I think, if you want the chalk bag, you can get a chalk bag. It's not like a
you know what? I got one because I did rock climbing during my DOV, as my sport.
Chalk bag for DOV?
I got not for DOV, but for my rock climbing, which was my fitness for DOV, and I never used it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't recommend.
Well, you just bought a chalk bag because it was your fitness for DOV.
Yeah, and then I
didn't do DOV. I don't know what do you mean your fitness? I'm assuming you have to choose a discipline.
DOV you have to do a certain number of months of fitness, a skill, and a voluntary
charity,
thing.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. So I was a voluntary scout leader, and then
Nice.
I did rock climbing, and I think I learned to drive.
You learnt to drive?
Yeah, I've mixed all of those. I think the voluntary scout was for my bronze, but learning to drive was definitely for my gold. So I've definitely mixed all of those.
Honestly, that's like a different language to me. I have no idea what DOV was.
That's crazy.
I never did it. I didn't see the appeal. I think I was too lazy at that point.
Me and Belle did it, so I'm surprised you didn't hear more about it.
I think I did, but I just toned it out because it was really boring. It sounded awful.
Yeah. Oh my god, we nearly died.
What do you mean you died?
Well, we got lost. We were 7 hours late on our gold.
Huh?
7 hours late. Yeah.
What? As in, it was nighttime by the time you got there?
Yeah, it was dark. All of our phones had died because you have to do something during the walk because it has to have a purpose. Okay. And ours was to do a vlog.
So you were vlogging using all your phone battery?
All of our phone batteries.
Oh, no.
Every single one of us. We were not very sensible girls. And we lost. We were lost. No signal to call for help on the one phone that was still alive.
Oh my god.
And they ended up driving
to pick you up.
They didn't pick us up, but they did.
Okay.
I actually can't remember. I feel like if I say that, I'll fail my gold. So they may have driven us the last few minutes.
Yeah.
Because we were just 7 hours late, tired. One of my friends had hurt her leg, so I was carrying her. You
make this actually sound like it's some sort of
I know. I phoned my
story.
mum. And my dad, and I was like, "Come get me.
No.
I don't want to do
Where
this."
were you? Where were you doing it? Was it
Dartmoor.
Oh, okay.
So we were in swamps. I fell down a stream, so I was wet.
Did you get your gold DV?
You know what? I never applied for it. I passed, but I've never applied for the certificate. No. Which is really bad because I've actually done everything and I've got it all signed off.
You've done everything?
Yeah. So You've
really gone through all of that?
Yeah.
And you didn't get the gold
No,
DV?
I know. That's really embarrassing, isn't it?
So you just had a little bit of a hike with your friends that didn't go very well?
Yeah. Stories to tell. It's on YouTube somewhere. Don't look it up. Yeah.
Finding the link below, guys. We'll get that linked up straight away. In fact, put up a clip. Let's have a look. You vlogged the whole thing. It's there.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's just me talking about when we can have our snacks. Because we were behind.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I know.
Anyway.
Right, so I don't really think we answered that question.
No, we didn't. This isn't going well. We didn't answer the question at all. I don't think we can answer the question.
I think it's literally just find whatever makes you happy and just keep doing it.
Yeah.
I think
as long as you're getting something from it.
Yeah.
If you're enjoying it, nice.
Yeah.
If you are just there to, socialize and make friends.
Oh yeah. Then that's fine too.
That's good. I think oh hello cat. If you're doing something because your friends are there, as long as you enjoy it enough to tolerate it and you're actually having fun with your friends, and that's fine. As long as you're getting something from it.
Yeah.
Don't do something for the sake of doing it. I think that's
I agree.
That's pretty standard.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're still learning.
I still don't really know what hobbies I have outside of
It's hard.
games.
It's hard to actually get a hobby to stick to consistently, especially when you have a job.
I have a box, like a little cupboard in our living room that is where all of my hobbies go to die. Like there's
You've got a graveyard.
Yeah, there's like crochet kits that I started and never finished. There's like paint by numbers that I've never finished. There's like the gem paint by number ones where you're putting gems in the places. Never
Sticker
finished.
books, basically.
Yeah, never finished anything.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not very good at finding a hobby.
Or sticking to them. No. I do. Other than gaming.
And then I always go back to reading, but like that's.
Yeah, I feel like reading's a pretty standard one.
Yeah, it's nice.
Like some people,
always on holiday.
I think you will either get it or you don't.
Yeah.
Reading on holiday is different. Like,
reading on holiday is just the vibe.
In the sun.
Yeah.
By a pool, you've got like, for me, it's probably less. I do like 15 minutes of reading, get in the pool, eat some food. 15 minutes of reading, get in the pool, eat some food, and it's just on repeat all day.
That's a vibe. That is a vibe.
I love that.
Yeah, I like that.
So, like big bit of watermelon. Oh,
ooh.
In the sun. So good. Or an ice cream, to be fair.
Are you coming to Italy?
I don't know yet. Josh. I think there's a spot.
I think there is a spot. Well, yeah, because I know someone that was definitely reserved a spot, but I doubt they're going, so you can take theirs.
I still don't know.
They're not going.
I might be busy. I'm not sure. We can figure that out later. That's a different topic to have entirely. Completely different story.
Do we want to go on to another Reddit story? Or do we want to talk about some personal experiences?
I want to hear about your first time clubbing.
Oh, okay.
I want to know about it. I want to know where you went and how you got there.
Right. So my first time clubbing was me and Belle, and we'd actually been invited to this guy that we like barely knew. Like I literally like spoke to him like.
Was it like a college connection? Or
yeah.
Okay.
And he had rented out for his 18th birthday. He'd rented out Spinnaker Tower in Portsmouth.
Ugh.
So he had like the whole thing. So we started on the top floor.
Right. Okay.
And there was
if you don't, that's a pretty bougie spot.
It's look it up.
Not pretty bougie. If you want to just go up there regularly during the daytime, that's spenny. That's
no, exactly. And like he had the whole thing, and so where I think my invite came from was like he needed people.
Okay.
To
right, so you just needed numbers.
Yeah.
You're just a number.
Exactly.
You don't matter.
So, oh well. And in the end, we went out in this thing. There was you had the first drinks at the top, and you made your way down the floors. Ended on the bottom floor. There was a Gordon Ramsay lookalike there. Really weird. Honestly, it feels like a fever dream this night. And then a bunch of people that we kind of met there.
Yeah. We
then went clubbing in Portsmouth, and I'd never been out really in Portsmouth.
No, but had you ever been out?
No, this was my never ever.
Yeah, this was your first time.
This was my first time out ever.
Yeah.
But also, like obviously I'd been to like some bars late at night, but like I hadn't ever been.
Well, a bar's completely.
No, exactly.
That's just not the same thing.
And so we went. There was confetti cannons going off. Honestly, I've never been to a club like it.
Did you have to queue up to get inside?
Yeah, queued up, got in. Also, don't ever do this. We just let these guys go and get us drinks. We didn't go with them. We didn't take them from the bar. Honestly, I look back, it's the most dangerous thing I've ever done.
That's fine if you know them.
No, I didn't. That's the problem.
But you didn't know them, yeah.
And
but you have to know them well, like trust them.
You have to trust these like people. I know that's really sinister to say, but you should always take your drink from the bartender.
Oh yeah,
you
definitely.
Shouldn't. And we.
Well, they have like little film stuff that you can put on top of it now.
Yeah.
But I mean,
but obviously at the time, I think we drank a little bit too much, and these guys just went and got us our drinks. We stayed where we were.
That stresses me out.
That's really scary.
Yeah.
And then there were confetti cannons going off, so confetti was getting in my drink. So it was like a solo cup, so it wasn't like nice cups. And there was people with flamethrowers.
Nice.
And there was someone like dressed head to toe in like almost like they were a human. What's it called? Glitter ball? Disco ball. Yeah. And I was like, what is going on? All on these platforms above us.
Was it busy?
It was packed.
Yeah. That's the one thing that I like.
Hate it.
I hate it, but also I think it's kind of the only way.
Yeah, it's definitely the only way.
Like I think I'd rather be in a packed club than am I going to say that? Than a completely empty club.
I've been in one empty club once.
I think it depends who you're with.
Yeah.
If there's like a big group of you and the club's empty, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, as long as you've got as long as there's a good solid chunk of you, or even if you know each other really well. Like I think me, you, and Belle could be in an empty club with maybe 4 people in it.
Yeah.
And still have an absolutely amazing time. But if it's like, if it was you with those people that you didn't know very well,
it would have been awkward.
Yeah.
Like really awkward.
Like you would have either had the bonding experience of your life, or you would have hated it and want to go home straight away.
Yeah.
Like a full club isn't necessarily like a bad thing.
Yeah.
But
go on, tell me your first clubbing experience.
My first clubbing experience. So mine was at uni, because I didn't go to. Well, I went straight from college into uni, and basically there's a go-to club, right? It was by the sea. It was. To be fair, it was really dodgy actually because it was on a pier, and you know how like piers you can see underneath them. Yeah. Please don't drink my water. Never mind. Too late.
Oh, face in it.
Fine. You're all right. Anyway, so piers you can see underneath them, right? Yeah. And I've got that in my head the entire time. Yeah. So you queue up, loud, busy. There's like a couple of 40-year-old men that are just stood around, like 50-year-old men. Stood around like looking at everyone, and because it was uni, it was people our age. That was fine. Like mostly 18, mostly 19-year-olds. It was Freshers Week. It was really busy. I think I'd had my first couple of drinks there, like properly as well.
Yeah, because you didn't really.
I didn't drink. No, not at school or anything. No, it wasn't. It's just what I didn't find it appealing.
We're both June babies, so also
yeah, true.
We weren't even really allowed to drink.
No.
When people were in bars anyways. I just
didn't, it didn't really appeal. But when I was at uni, I was like, you know what, let's go. Let's give it a go. Anyway, went into this club and the floor was like a really sticky, like grid pattern floor. Ugh. Don't go on top of that.
She wanted to.
Yeah, she did. And basically, like, you've got people dancing, jumping up and down. And my entire time, I'm looking underneath going, the sea's there.
I can see it.
But like, imagine when you're drunk.
Could you see it?
No, obviously not from in the club. Can you imagine? It's just holes in the floor. No, you couldn't see the sea.
The pier sometimes has like those like gaps.
Yeah, but it was a club. It was a building. It wasn't fair. Okay. To be fair though, smoking area outside.
You could see it.
There you could see the sea. But like, imagine being drunk, looking down, slightly dizzy. You're looking down, and you can just see the ocean before you. Like, oh. Nice.
No, not for me.
But yeah. I think I really enjoyed my first time clubbing.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it was good. Because I think I just had a bit of fun.
Yeah.
You just dance around. Like, as long as you don't care.
And it's freshers, right? Everyone wants to make friends in freshers.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that I know, I didn't.
To be fair, I think I just went with people that I'd found on my course.
Yeah.
Or like around my accommodation as well. And then just went with them.
Nice.
It was a good way to get to know people. And yeah, I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I don't mind a bit of clubbing. I think it's fun.
To be fair, me and Belle went out like last weekend, and you know what? I hadn't been clubbing in a long time. To be honest, it wasn't really clubbing, but I had a great time. I had a really, really good time.
I think it depends on what you're doing there, because like I don't mind just turning up, ignoring everything around me, and just dancing like loud music. I think it's just a bit of a vibe.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, you can have terrible club experiences. Like, I remember stuff like, you've got to shield your friends from certain people, and
we used to form like a little
defensive circle.
And if like some guy was like trying to get like one of our friends, we would turn and it would suddenly be that she was like the opposite side of the circle. That was always so funny.
Yeah. Well, I think that's because some people go to clubs for that. like some people go to clubs to meet people, don't they?
Oh yeah.
Like some people do.
I'm there to have fun with my friends.
Exactly. I think you've just got to have the right attitude about it to make it like a fun experience. Like I think that's, if you're going to a club, don't expect it to be perfect either.
Yeah.
There's going to be stuff that's like grim. Like I don't think I ever want to be in one of those places when the lights are on.
No.
I'm alright, thanks. I don't want to know.
No.
No.
There was one time a girl was like barefoot in a club. I was like, what?
Oh.
I don't think there's a level of drunk I could be to be barefoot in a sticky dance floor. That, my skin like sticking to the floor. Stop.
Just the smell of alcohol constantly.
Ugh, that is so gross. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's grim. You're writing down some ideas, Kat.
Pandora's adding to our notebook.
Adding to the whiteboard.
Yeah. Cutie.
What should we talk about?
Well, going on from the clubbing and the freshers and everything, making friends.
You got to have friends.
Did you say you've got to have friends, or I've got no friends?
I said you've got to have friends.
I've got no friends.
You do have friends.
Yeah. I have a real imposter syndrome with those friends, though. I hope they're not watching. Because...
Okay.
Because... So me and my boyfriend, we met through that group, but he was much more involved in the group.
In the group than you were.
Yeah. So...
But I feel like that's the same with every relationship. I think that's different to friends.
No, I know. But the problem is then they went from being my friends, and then when I met him and we actually got closer and everything, it got to actually, they're his friends. And because fresher in the group, I was not as...
Felt like a bit of an outsider.
Yeah, I felt... So now, when I'm invited to things, I just automatically assume it's only because I'm his girlfriend rather than... I'm invited because they're my friends. And I know that Belle feels the same way. We just have real imposter syndrome.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that's fair enough, because if you're entering a group that's that big, like for context, it's a big group of people.
Yeah.
Like,
this is like 40 people.
Yeah, who are all really good friends. Also, it's online. You need that's an
it's all through gaming, all through
like Discord.
Yeah, it's a Discord friendship group, which did leave the Discord like 2 years ago. Well, to be honest, it left the Discord a lot longer, but I met them all 2 years ago for New Year's.
2023?
Yeah.
I thought it was earlier than that.
No, because me and Matt started dating in 2022.
That makes sense. Yeah, I feel like, so online, that's a good way to make friends. But also it can be a little sketchy sometimes.
It's scary. And so one of the things where I felt was a bit sketchy was I was like feeling a bit lonely. This was before I met all of this bigger group.
Yeah.
And I was watching a stream, and in the chat we were all talking and we were all like back and forth, like all seemed, the way that we were all talking was kind of the same age, which probably maybe says more about me because they ended up being like teenagers, and I was 19, and it just felt wrong. Like, even though they were like 15, 16, it just felt weird, and I was just like, the moment I found out how old they were, I was like,
See, this
I
is
can't be your friend.
Well, exactly, this is the thing with meeting people online.
Yeah.
Like, there is a very high chance that they're like, they could live miles away. And it's hard to have friendships that are like that. Especially if you want it to be an in-person thing, like, you know, if you actually want to socialise outside of the internet.
Yeah.
And then different ages. Yeah. That's mental.
Because even if we're bonding over the same thing, and maybe if it was like they were 19 and then I was like 23, 24, like that, I feel like is more of a palatable age difference.
Well, yeah, I think it's different when you're older. Like,
yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like people that I work with nowadays, I'm working with people who are like 30, 40, and I'm going to the pub with them the same amount of people that I'm planning my own age.
I'm planning a girls' weekend away with someone who's 27, so that's like 4 years older than me, and then someone that's 52. The three of us are just going away.
Well, see,
that's fine.
That's a much bigger age gap. But I think when you're younger, it is difficult.
Yeah.
Because the amount of life experience you gain from the age of 15 to 19 is like astronomical. It's completely different.
And just in such different places in life.
Yeah.
That it just felt like it was weird. And for a bit, like, they'd ask me about, like, advice. Like, we didn't speak like friends. Like, we'd obviously added each other, and then I found out how old they were, and I was like, never mind. But
did it turn into a bit of like an older sister kind of relationship? Yeah, fair enough.
Might have to.
You got to wrap it up.
Yeah, we got.
Oh dear.
Camera's gonna stop recording.
Yeah, we've got a limit on our camera.
Yeah, we will fix it, but for now,
we've got to fix it.
It's short.
But at the moment, the camera only records up to half an hour because that's the camera we got at the moment. But it's a good camera.
Yeah, it's a great camera.
We just need a
capture card.
Yeah, capture card to record it onto the PC with the sound. But yeah, I feel like we tackled absolutely nothing.
I feel like we tackled absolutely nothing too.
Yeah.
You know how we were like, oh, maybe we'll run out of subjects. I don't think we will because we maybe tackled 2.
Yeah.
Maybe 3.
So I hope you got something from that.
I hope you learned.
I don't know
something.
what it was. I don't know what you might have got from that, but if you did, good job.
Yeah.
Send us your notes. We'll have a little analysis of them.
Was it criticism is welcome because this is, but be nice because it'll hurt my feelings.
Criticism's welcome, but be nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's not gonna work, is it? You're just gonna get people shouting at you, and you're gonna cry. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, thank you for episode 2.
Yeah.
Thanks for making it to the end.
Yeah. Good job.
Good job.
Well done.
I hope you didn't get too lost.
Yeah. Yeah. Next one. All right.
Yeah. Thanks.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.